In today's video, we're going to break down a Facebook advertising technique to go up your game with your Facebook ads, and that is called flex targeting. So I'm going to break down exactly what flex targeting is and how it's evolved over the last several years and how I'm currently using it to see a 3 to 4x ROI with my Facebook advertising ad spend. Okay, so basically what flex targeting is, and this came out like 3-4 years ago, is you're able to go through and drill down deep on your targeting options with your audience. So let's say that we want to go and we want to target real estate agents. So we can go tell Facebook, hey, we want to target real estate agents, but we also want to drill down and only target real estate agents in Dallas. And also we only want real estate agents in Dallas that like basketball. But also we don't want any of the real estate agents that like baseball. We want this to be very, very specific and narrow our audience. And so we can go through and set that up with the Facebook Ads Manager. So let me show you guys just how to do this, and then I'll get into how I've actually evolved with this and what I use to get that 3 to 4x ROI with my ad spend nowadays. So if we come down here inside the ad set level, we can say, okay, we only want to target, let's say locations, we'll say only people in Dallas, right? Which is obviously common sense. You probably already know how to go through and do this. And then we come over here to including this detailed targeting, and we'll say real estate agent. We'll see what pops up here. So we've got real estate broker. That works fine. So you can see how this drops. It dropped to 840,000, which I think that's still probably a little bit high, because 840,000 real estate brokers in Dallas, I find that a little bit hard to believe, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt here. So what we can do is, and a lot of times people haven't really noticed this, but you can go down and narrow the audience or exclude people. So what I like to do is go through and use narrow the audience, and you can say, hey, I only want real estate brokers that also like basketball. Now I know, guys, this is a kind of a crazy example, but I'll actually show you a real case study of what I would do with my business as you're going through and utilizing this. Okay, so now if we've got the real estate brokers that like basketball in Dallas, there's 500,000 people. And then we could say, hey, but we want to exclude, we don't like baseball, so we want to exclude anyone that likes baseball. Okay, so now you see it drop down to 130,000 people. So with this, you're able to go get very specific with your Facebook ads targeting. Okay, now nowadays with the Facebook pixel and lookalike audiences and all these different things, you're able to actually go through and use this a lot better than just drilling down super deep, because we could go down, we could narrow further, and we could say, hey, we also want people that like football. Okay, and so we could drill down and say all these like detailed things. And so it's not, now you're down to 16,000 people, which ideally you think like, well, this has got to be a super targeted group. This is gonna be awesome for my advertising. But the truth is Facebook likes a lot bigger audiences to be able to go through and work with and optimize their pixel, optimize their targeting, and it works out a lot better for you. So instead of doing all of this, as far as the whole flex targeting goes, what I like to do, and I'm just gonna break down and show you guys exactly how to set this up, is I would go through and I would get a list of all of my customers. Okay, and I would upload those into Facebook as a custom audience, which I'll link a video up here as well to go through and show you guys exactly how to do that if you don't know how to do that already. Then I would create a lookalike audience based off of those customers, which basically is Facebook finding people on Facebook that look just like those customers. So they're probably gonna have the same interests, the same ages, the same income, they buy the same things online. And although Facebook took away a lot of these demographic targetings, they still know this information about people. Okay, they still know a lot of this, but they're not going to make it accessible to you as a Facebook advertiser because of that massive breach that happened a few months back. So now what we're going to do instead is, instead of going and doing all this detailed targeting and narrowing down, drilling down, we're going to create one ad set, and we're going to go through and we're going to say, hey, we want to just target people in this lookalike audience. So we're gonna come over here and we'll say, let's just say it's just, maybe you don't have enough clients to make a lookalike audience, or you don't have enough leads. But let's say you've got enough people that have visited your website. So we'll say, hey, anyone that visited our website, we want to target those types of people. All right, and if you're in local business, obviously you could say Dallas, but let's say for this example, we will just do the United States. And so instead of going down here and doing all this narrowing of the targeting, I like to just come in here and just do my lookalike audience, a 1% lookalike audience. But then on top of that, let's say we're sending them to a landing page to go through and generate leads. And let's say this is the landing page right here. So with this landing page right here, let's go through, let's opt in. And this URL, if anyone has hit this URL right here, that means they have become a lead, right? Because no one's gonna see this URL unless they've already become a lead. So what I would do is come in, because when you're going through and setting up your 1% lookalike audience right here, you want to target all these people. But once somebody's already opted in as a lead, we want to then exclude those people, so we're not showing them the ad again and wasting our advertising dollars. Okay, so what we're gonna do is come over here and we'll go through and create an audience really quick of anyone that has visited this URL on the thank you page, because if they visit that URL, that means they have become a lead. And so we'll come over here, create an audience, custom audience right there, and then we will do website traffic, and we'll say, hey, not all website visitors, but people who have visited this specific web page. Okay, and I usually do the maximum, which is 180 days here, because you know, if they've gone through the last 100, I want to basically collect all the data that anyone that has become a lead. Okay, so we'll give this a name right here, email template lead. Okay, so we'll say create audience, and so then we'll just hit done. And now as we come back over here, what we might need to do is refresh this so that it's going to actually show up. But then we can get very specific with our targeting. This is what I would do as far as like flex targeting nowadays. Okay, so you go through, we'll just create this really quick. And now as we go down, we're going to choose that same lookalike audience. But then, so we'll say the 1%, but then we want to exclude anybody who was in this email template download. Okay, so if they've already become a lead, we don't want to go through and show our ad to them again and waste our advertising dollars. So we want to go through and set this up, and this is the first ad set that I would use with this whole flex targeting technique. Now there are two more audience types that I would use with this that I want to go through and show you guys how this is all done. Now what I would do, the second one, is instead of going through and going and hitting a 1% lookalike audience, I like to call this my tier 2 audience. And it's basically anybody that is really engaged with my Facebook page, anyone that has opted in and become a lead. Because still, even though they've opted in and become a lead, I know I excluded them in that first ad set, but if they haven't bought anything from me yet, I still want to show them ads to be able to have them come back into my business, because these are people that basically already raised their hand, showed interest. So I want to be able to show my message to these people still. So what I would do, and this is the second ad set that I would create, and this is what I call my tier 2, right? So we come over here to custom audiences and we say, hey, we want to target anyone that has become a lead, and then maybe anyone who has viewed a video, all my website visitors, then viewed my Facebook intro video. And so I go down here and I just click on all of these custom audiences that I've created of people that have visited my website, or like right here, engaged with my Facebook page. You see there's 40,000 people right there. And so now this is where I'm going through and doing the flex targeting and drilling down and saying, hey, here's all the people that I want to go through and use. So guys, nowadays you really want to stick with the custom audiences section as opposed to the detailed targeting, because you can go through and create all these little custom audiences of people that have visited your website, or people that have opted in and become a lead, or people that have bought a product from you, or people that have engaged with your Facebook page. And these people are a lot warmer and a lot more specific, as opposed to just saying, hey, I want to target real estate brokers in Dallas that like basketball or that don't like baseball or anything crazy like that. Okay, and then from here, if you've created an audience of anyone that has bought your products, let's see, I don't think I have one of these on this demo account, but you would exclude anyone that has already bought that specific product that you're showing an ad for, because obviously they don't need to go through and see it. Now for the third type of ad set, once you're really going through and starting to expand your audience, starting to expand your advertising spend, and guys, just a quick note here, I wouldn't really do this technique until you're spending at least $2,500 per day, which equates to $75,000 per month, which is almost $1 million per year. So this one, most people can just ignore this. All right, but what I would do if you're really trying to go through and expand your audience, expand your advertising budget and everything, is now you've got the 1% lookalike audience excluding any leads, and then you've got the tier 2, the second ad set of going and targeting anybody that's already engaged with your Facebook page, your website, or anything like that. Now we want to go through and expand a little bit further. Okay, so what we would actually do here is we would come and create, let's say we're going to create a lookalike audience right here. So we'll create a 2 or 3% lookalike audience. So a 1% lookalike audience, like I showed you guys earlier, is going to create about 2 million people within that audience. But if we want to expand that even more, we can go and create a 2 or 3% lookalike audience. Now, because this is a bigger audience, it's got millions of more people, that's where we might want to go down and drill down a little bit more with this detailed targeting. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do that. Okay, so if we go click on the email templates right here, and we'll say actions, create a lookalike. And now we're wanting to expand our advertising. So let's say now we just start out with a 2% lookalike audiences for right now, and we'll say the United States. So a 2% lookalike audience, which is going to give us about 4 million people. Okay, that's a pretty big audience right there. So we'll come down here, say create audience, and it'll start populating this. Obviously it says below 1,000 right now, but it's going to start populating this audience. And then what we're going to do here is just refresh it so we can actually pull this audience up so I can show you guys. And we're going to go back and we'll just say start over, traffic, continue. And I'm just choosing the traffic campaign objective just to kind of get through. I'm not saying that's the one you for sure should always use. Okay, so now we come down here to custom audiences, and I would choose the 2% email templates, but I would still exclude this audience of email template leads, because still I don't want to include those in this audience. I want to have them automatically go to that tier 2 ad set. Okay, and then because this is such a massive audience, and this is showing unavailable because it's still updating and populating, but what I would do is, because there's not, like, let's say I'm targeting real estate agents, there's not 4 million real estate agents in the United States. Okay, so they're just saying, hey, these are people that look like them, but they're not necessarily all real estate agents. So what I might do is come down here and say, hey, I want this, I want a 2% lookalike of people opting in to become a lead, but I also want to target real estate brokers. Let's say right here. So National Association of Real Estate Brokers. Let's just go back and say agents right here. Actually, I want to do the National Association of Realtors. Okay, so we'll come down here. So that's about 5 million people right there. And so now obviously it hasn't fully updated and populated, so that's why it's showing unavailable still. But you would see that that 4 million size audience would drill down a lot more, and it would be a lot more specific. Now you could go through and say I want the National Association of Realtors, and then we'll say realtor and see what it pops up right here. We could say realtor.com, real estate broker, realtor. We'll just say that. You could drill down more, but typically I don't drill down too much. I usually get a broad aspect of this detailed targeting right here, but maybe I'll do 1 or 2 right here. But I only do this on the detailed targeting when I'm going through and targeting a larger lookalike audience, so a 2 or 3%. Now, if you guys are spending anything less than $1 million per year on Facebook advertising, you don't really ever need to go above a 2 or 3% lookalike audience. And if you are, you're most likely wasting your money. I would stick with the 1% lookalike audiences for the most part. And then once you get above about $2,500 to $3,000 per day, then at that point you can start thinking about going to these 2 or 3% lookalike audiences. All right, so anyway guys, this is a breakdown of flex targeting and how to actually implement flex targeting today with Facebook's all their new algorithm updates, with the pixel, with lookalike audiences, with all this good stuff that we have at our fingertips, because their algorithms are so good now that they're a lot better than anything you could come up with as far as detailed targeting goes. And the biggest mistake that most amateurs make, and they make it because they just don't know, is they don't utilize the Facebook pixel as well as these lookalike audiences. So you have all of these Facebook advertisers coming in here and just targeting real estate agents and realtors and all this stuff. So this is a massive bloodbath of everyone fighting over these same exact people. Whereas if you create your own lookalike audiences, you create your own custom audiences, then you're able to stand out above the crowd because your audience is very specific to you and your business. And that's why I have no problem going through and breaking all this down and sharing with you guys, because everyone's custom audiences, everyone's lookalike audiences are going to be a little bit different and unique to them and their business, and that's why they work so well. All right, so anyway guys, hope this video was helpful. And also, if you guys want my 100% free Facebook ads mini course, I'll add a link down below in the description as well as in the top comment. And if you guys found this video helpful, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate that. And also drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of my new glasses. These are Blu-ray light blocking glasses, so I'm just trying them out. I got them on a Black Friday sale, and we'll see if they actually help my eyes out since I'm in front of a computer pretty much all day long. So anyway guys, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, share it with some friends, share it with other people, give it a like. Also, if you're brand new here to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because we launch new videos every single week to help you guys generate more leads, make more money, and grow your business. So with that said guys, I will see you all later.